एक क्रिस हैडफील्ड की एस्ट्रोनॉट्स गाइड टू लाइफ ऑन अर्थ.
हाँ
हाँ, क्रिस हैडफील्ड.
एक बार बताना दोबारा नाम.
Chris Hadfield.
Chris?
Hadfield. This guy was an astronaut. He is an astronaut. He is still alive. One of the most coolest people ever. Canadian astronaut है. Space station पे रहा था काफी टाइम के लिए.
I think he's on Twitter. I do follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Chris
Hadfield. An astronaut's guide to life on Earth.
seen this guy.
It's sort of an autobiography, but
He was a pilot, right?
yeah, he was a
Fighter
test pilot, and then went on to becoming first Canadian astronaut, and he was the commander of International Space Station for I think close to a year.
So he like अपने उसमें
Not a full year, because the first guy to live a full year in space was Mr. Kelly. I think
Kelly,
M. Scott Kelly, right?
Music is nice by the way.
Bro, it's spa music.
खून काटा मैं
क्या काटा?
बच्चे भी कर
हाँ तो ये like have you read this book?
Yeah.
It's about like वो कुछ तो बोलते हैं ना इसको, जो लोग अर्थ को दूर से ऐसे देख they get this is called some effect.
हाँ हाँ.
कि कुछ होता है इनको.
I don't know. The astronauts, they go through a lot of psychological training before going to space, but space does have a lot of psychological impact on them. There's this one disease astronauts get.
Overview effect. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Overview effect. Yeah.
And what's overview effect?
Is a cognitive shift reported by some astronauts while viewing the Earth from the space. तो मैं गूगल का AI ओवरव्यू वाला है जो वो पढ़ देता हूँ. The cognitive shift and profound emotional experience reported by astronauts when viewing Earth from space is called the overview effect. It is a powerful, life-altering perspective change that emphasizes the planet's fragility and interconnectedness of life. Basically, a zoomed-out perspective on life and everything. Ki, okay.
One of adding to it, astronauts also have a psychological imbalance thing, which they've reported sometimes, that they think all of this is happening inside their brain.
That they are not really above Earth or something.
No. It's just a thing inside their brain which says, hey, they feel like my brain's inducing stimulus for myself only.
Okay.
So all of this, whatever is happening around me is happening inside my brain. It's not really happening at all. So you're just a figment
in your brain.
Yeah, it's you're a figment of my imagination is what that they start
You
feeling.
can never tell actually. You never know.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not equipped enough to answer that question.
And yeah, simulation.
Sometimes when you go down these like
rabbit holes.
Rabbit holes and recursive thinking processes, right? I feel like the best way to come out of it is, hey, like, let me collect enough tools to come back to this problem again and then try again.
I think simulation theory is gaining momentum these days, right? A lot of people are, I don't know, it's been popularized by.
Where were we? Chris Hadfield, one book, and then second book was this guy David Papineau. He's a
David who?
David Papineau. Okay, he's a professor of philosophy, I guess, in somewhere in US.
British academic and philosopher. This guy, right?
Right, and he plays a lot of sports as well. So he tried writing a book which combined aspects of sports, philosophy, society in general, how it conducts itself in terms of civics, and draws
His
parallels.
book, you are saying one
Is sorry, I forgot to name the book. It's Knowing the Score. Knowing this one. It's amazing. I think everyone should read it. Everyone's perspective on why we play sports.
After becoming an adult or teen, or do you recommend an age?
So this book
Any
caters to
age group?
everyone, right? So I would recommend it after you can start reading it after 15 and then keep on reading at different stages of your life. Will always teach you something, because the first parts of the books really focuses on why you play sports, right? What does it have in common with life, right? Why do you get jitters while playing, right? If you overthink too much, your game gets messed up, right? What's the importance of practice in life and also in sports? right? How philosophy interacts with it, and later on, like he marries the idea of sports to what it means to be playing as a team, right? Your role as a
मतलब basically sports background में
sports
philosophy book
background,
चल रहा
yeah,
है.
right. And I feel like the closest resemblance or an example you can give to the absurdity of life is sports, right? If I ask you, like, why do you feel like two teams are playing to put a ball inside a thing, right? You won't be able to come up with an answer. It might be money, it might be something else, but I can always say, hey, why do you think this life is, right? And you still won't come up
What
with
are
an
we
answer,
doing?
right? What are
Anyways,
we doing?
Sports forget sports. What are we doing?
What are we doing, right? Exactly. So it's as absurd as life is, right?
Any comments? What are we doing?